Okay, hello. Today I'm going to discuss business combination with intercompany transactions on property, plant, and equipment. Okay, so what is this chapter all about? Okay. Ano ba yung mga ine-expect natin sa chapter na to? Like business combination with intercompany transactions on inventories, no, hindi natin maiiwasan that the parent, okay, can sell property, plant, and equipment to the subsidiary. This is known as your downstream sales. Or if the subsidiary, okay, sells property, plant, and equipment to the parent, that is known as your upstream sales. Okay? So, ano ngayon kung meron tayong property, plant, and equipment transactions, okay, between the parent, no? Between the parent and the subsidiary. We expect that in the process, we are going to defer, no? Magre-record tayo ng deferred gross profit from the sale. And, okay, in consolidation, syempre, aside from the deferred, okay, magre-record din tayo ng realized gross profit. Now, to compare this chapter with inventories, okay, intercompany transactions on PPE is not as frequent as intercompany transactions on inventories. Okay, hindi siya ganun kadalas. Okay, and when we talk about PPE transactions, syempre, mahahati yan sa dalawa. Okay, first, you have your depreciable daw. Ayan. Okay. And we have yung kabaliktaran. Kunyari, tama ba yung spelling ko? Okay, so you have your depreciable and non-depreciable. Ayan. Also, other things for you to consider. Okay, syempre, meron tayong upstream and downstream sales. Tapos, magre-record tayo ng realized o kaya deferred gross profit. Yun lang, parang intercompany transactions on inventories din ito. Actually, this chapter is easier because upon consolidation, okay, we expect the consolidated amounts of PPE, no, as if walang nangyari. As if there are no PPE transactions between the parent and the subsidiary. Your PPEs should be restored. Ayan, should be restored to their original cost. The same with your accumulated depreciation. Ayan, and intercompany gains and losses will be eliminated. Okay, so let's go to the details. Starting with the non-depreciable plant assets. Pag sinabi natin non-depreciable plant assets, most of the time we talk about land. Okay? Hindi siya subject sa depreciation eh. Now, if there are intercompany sale of non-depreciable assets, okay, sabi dito, eliminations, ano ulit? Pag eliminations, we're talking about elimination entries, right? Which are only found in your working paper. Eliminations often are needed in the preparation of consolidated FS for the selling affiliates gain or loss for as long as the assets are held by the acquiring company. Okay, so yun na yung clue natin. Yan yung i-eliminate natin. The intercompany gain or loss. Failure to eliminate the gain or loss in the year of sale would cause either an overstatement in the case of gain or understatement in the case of loss on the total consolidated assets. Ayan, meron tayong example nito mamaya. But another thing that I want you to remember on this discussion is that number 2, ayan. Your intercompany gain or loss will be eliminated only in the year of sale. So, number 1, we eliminate the intercompany gain or loss when? That's number 2. Only in the year of sale. And then furthermore, elimination of gain or loss would report back the non-depreciable assets cost in the books of the acquirer at its original cost. Ayan, so yun pala yung objective. Not only to eliminate the intercompany gain or loss, but in the process, you are going to restore, no? You're going to restore the non-depreciable assets cost in the books of the acquirer at its original cost. Ayun. So, let's have an example. Okay, using the same illustration as the previous chapter, okay, doon sa inventories, kaya mula sa umpisa, no, magdagdag lang tayo ng information. Assume that on May 1, 2011, parent company sold land costing $175,000 to subsidiary. So, it's the parent selling to the subsidiary. Ano yung masasabi natin dito? Number one, this is a downstream sale. Ayan, it's a, mali-mali, napahiya na naman ako doon. Yan. Downstream sale. It's the parent selling to the subsidiary, which is 80% owned. Okay, for how much? $225,000. Parent company and subsidiary company at this time reports income. Reports net income of $540 and $200. So, if this is their reported net income, ibig sabihin, okay, this includes the dividend income. Kung sinabi sana niya na net income from its own operation, then it should not include the income from dividends. Ayan. So, sabi niya, subsidiary declaring 50,000 cash dividend for the year. As of this point, we can already multiply this by 80% kasi it's 80% owned. Okay, so 80% of this, which is 40,000 pesos, is received by the parent, which means, okay, if the reported net income is 540, the net income from its own operation, okay, is how much? Okay, 500,000 pesos. Okay po. Ayan. What else? Okay. If this is the cost, no? If this is the cost of the land and it was sold for 225. So, ano yun? Meron po tayong gain. Okay. There is a gain of 50,000 pesos. Ayan. Now, what will happen if this gain will not be eliminated? The land, which is originally costed at 175, will now be reflected in the books of the acquirer at 225,000 pesos. As separate entities, okay lang yun. But at the end of the year, okay, upon consolidation, syempre, they will be reported as one entity. Hindi pwedeng stated at 225 because you cannot sell land to yourself. Diba? So, you have to eliminate that to restore your land to 175. Okay, so balikan natin yung previous slide. Number 1, we eliminate the gain or loss. Number 2, only in the year of sale. Okay, so ayan. And then, number 3, in the process, you're going to restore the asset into its original cost. Okay, so let's continue. In the books, no, of the parent or the selling affiliate, ayan, the selling entity, makaka-receive siya ng cash na 225,000. Okay, credit the land at 175. Ito na po yung gain natin at 50,000. Very easy to understand. And in the books of the acquirer, a debit to land of 225 and credit cash at 225. So nawala ngayon dito yung 175 and now it's stated at 225,000. Ito yung sinasabi ng previous slide natin. Failure to eliminate is 50,000, okay, in the case of gain, will result to overstatement of the asset. Ayan, from 175 to 225. Okay, so, what will be our elimination entry? In addition to the other elimination entries na napag-aralan na natin, okay, in the year of sale, you simply eliminate the gain on sale of land. Because we cannot report this as our gain, okay, doon sa point of view ng consolidated entity. Hindi ka pwedeng kumita sa sarili mo. No? Benta ko nga yung land ko sa sarili ko, tapos, uy, kumita ako, meron akong gain. Tapos, tumaas pa yung value ng land, di ba? So, tatanggalin din natin yan. So, eto yung number 3. In the process of eliminating the gain, Okay, you're going to restore the land to its original cost. O, di ba? Dati 175, naging 225, but because you credited 50, balik po siya sa 175. Very easy to understand. Okay, now, pag tinanong tayo, ano ulit yung mga common questions sa atin? You have the equity holding of the parent in the net income, ayan, or consolidated net income as far as the parent is concerned. You have the minority interest, and then minority interest net income pala, and you have your CNI or consolidated net income. Ano yung tututukan natin dito? You have this, no? Your deferred gross profit or unrealized gain on the sale of land na downstream. So 100% will be eliminated against the net income of the parent. Bakit yung parent? Kasi siya yung nagbenta. Okay po? Now, kung upstream sana ito, this one will be distributed between the parent and the subsidiary. Bakit po ulit ganon? Bakit siya distributed? Because, okay, the parent has a share in the minority interest. No, not minority. In the subsidiary's net income. Okay, so this is how you're going to compute for your CNI as far as the parent is concerned, your minority interest net income, and your consolidated net income. Okay. Now, in the process, we are going to, balikan natin, saan nanggaling yung 40 na yan? No? This is the share of your minority interest in the total net income reported by the subsidiary. So, you're going to set that up, this 40,000. Okay, by debiting your minority interest, okay, net income of the subsidiary, okay, and crediting your net assets of the subsidiary. Ayan, non-controlling interest in the net assets of the subsidiary. So again, may question dito palagi, sir. Okay, as of this point, hindi ko pa rin naiintindihan. Why are we debiting net income? Diba, income is a credit item. Yes, that's true, but this one will be charged against your CNI, okay, to compute for the CNI of the parent, or as far as the parent is concerned, okay. And in the process, it will be close to your net assets and minority interest in the net assets of the subsidiary, because net income will increase the net assets. Okay, so ayun. Now, before we continue, again, just to emphasize, there are two kinds of sale. Pag intercompany sales, no, you have your downstream and upstream. Pag downstream sales, this will be charged against the controlling interest, no, 100%. Yan, okay. If it's upstream and okay, the subsidiary is wholly owned, again, it will be charged against your controlling interest, 100%. Okay, what if it's partially owned? Okay, it will be charged proportionately against the controlling and the non-controlling interest. Gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina. We have an example, no? Ito yun. Kanina, it's downstream sales. But this one is an example of an upstream sale. Notice the difference? Ayan. Kapag upstream, kunyari, it's the subsidiary, no? Selling to the parent. Si parent, may share siya sa subsidiary's net income, and then that gain of 50,000 will be reported in the books of the subsidiary. Then we're going to distribute that against the controlling interest and the minority interest net income. So yun lang po yung difference. Pag downstream, 100% dito. Pag upstream, charge natin proportionately, just like in your intercompany transactions on inventories. Okay. So, okay, what will be your elimination entries? The same. Okay, you remove the gain on sale of the land, okay, and restore the land to its original cost. But this time, okay, the amount that you're going to set up in your non-controlling interest, okay, in the net income of the subsidiary is 30 na lang. Bakit 30? Okay, because your 40 is reduced, no, by their share in the deferred gain or unrealized gain. Now, this one is for the year, no? It's for the year of sale. What about on the following years? Okay, for non-depreciable assets, okay, minsanan lang. Actually, pati sa depreciable assets, minsanan lang po tayo na magdi-defer ng gain. Tatandaan niyo yun. Okay, but for non-depreciable assets, once these assets are sold to outside parties, that's the time we're going to realize. Okay, sana may example tayo. Okay, like this one, disposition of the non-depreciable assets in subsequent years. Unrealized intercompany gain or loss on sale of assets is viewed as being realized at the time the assets are sold to outsiders, just like inventories, no? And for consolidation purposes, gain or loss recognized by the affiliate to outsiders must be adjusted, so yeah, for the previously unrealized intercompany gain or loss. Ano ibig sabihin nito? For example, no, you have the parent selling to the subsidiary, which resulted a net income or a gain, no, a gain of 50,000. Then the subsidiary, okay, sold to outsiders, so yan, third persons, okay, the land, okay, for a, let's say, gain of 2,000. Okay. Ayan, at this point, when the sale was made to outsiders, okay, you're going to recognize the gain of 2,000 plus this unrealized gain. So this time, this 50,000 will now be realized here. Ulitin natin ha. When the parent sold to the subsidiary, this one was deferred. When will this be realized? Okay, at the time, the asset is sold to outsiders. This will be treated as an adjustment to the gain or loss, okay, during this sale. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. When previously unrealized intercompany gain is realized, the effects of the profit elimination process must be reversed. So, babalik ta rin lang natin yung elimination entry natin. At the time of realization, the full amount of the unrealized intercompany gain is added back, ayan, or loss is deducted from, sabi niya, the consolidated income computation and assigned to the shareholders' interest from which it originally was eliminated. So, tututukan niyo to. From which it was originally eliminated. Okay. So, if 100% was eliminated against the parents' share, then 100% will be realized, no, on the parents' share, okay, for downstream sales or for upstream, which are where your subsidiaries are wholly owned. But for example, when your subsidiaries are partially owned and then upstream yan, if you remember, the unrealized gain is charged proportionately between the parent and the minority interest, di ba? So upon realization, ganun din dapat, proportionately din yung pagkaka-realize. Okay, so sana malinaw po yun. And to illustrate, continuing from the previous example, assume that in 2014, okay, parents sold to an outsider, ayan, the land purchased from subsidiary. Aha. So, what happened? Originally, the subsidiary, okay, sold to the parent. And then on 2014, the parent sold this to outsiders. The selling price was $250, thus reporting a gain of 25,000. Diba? 250 less 225. Parent company and subsidiary company at this time reports net income of 500, including the gain on sale of the land of 25, and 30 to parent and subsidiary respectively, with the subsidiary declaring 100,000 cash dividend for the year. So, ito yung siguro, no, from our earlier assumption that the subsidiary is 80% owned, no? So, how are you going to compute for your CNI as far as the parent is concerned? Okay, or mini or consolidated net income. Siyempre, first we have to adjust this by removing 80% of 100,000. Oh, dito sa bagay nito, nagkakaintindihan na tayo. Okay, now look at this. What is this? These are the amounts which were deferred, no, in the year of sale. But since it's already sold to an outsider for this year, so you have to recognize this year, okay? This time by adding. Ayan, dadagdag mo. Okay, so this is the time that you're going to realize that because it's already sold to an outsider. Okay po, again, why is this added proportionately between the two? Because this is an upstream sale. Okay? Originally, it was charged proportionately naman. So, kung ano yung ginawa mo nung nag-defer ka, dapat ganun din po yung approach natin pag nag-realize po tayo. Okay, so what's the journal entry? Okay, alam na natin yan. Okay, to set up for your NCDs and NCNAs. And then, this one, you have your accumulated profits. Okay, yung 50. This will be charged against the subsidiaries, subsidiaries retained earnings because it's an upstream sale. Noon pumasok ito sa kanyang retained earnings last year. So, you have to adjust that. Or last year, at the year of sale pala. And then, this is the time, okay, in your consolidated paper, you're going to record the gain on sale of land. So, if the subsidiary recorded, let's say, the parent who sold this land to outsiders reported a net income or gain from the sale of 25,000, in your consolidated working paper, you will now have 75,000. Why? Because you're going to realize your eliminated gain, okay, from the year of sale. Ito yung sinasabi ng number 2 kanina. Okay? Your total gain will now be adjusted by the amount of the realized profit. Okay, so since the land is ultimately sold to outsiders, all income arising from such transaction should now be realized in 2014, okay, which is the year of sale. And take note that the gain on sale of the land to outsiders in the amount of 25,000 was increased by another 50,000. Okay, therefore your total gain, this one is a common question, okay, for this chapter. In your consolidated working paper or in your consolidated financial statements, how much will be reflected as the gain on sale of the equipment? The answer should be 75,000. Or question, how much will be the adjustment? How much will be the adjustment to your gain on sale? The answer will be 50,000. Okay, how is that considered as an adjustment? Ayan. Okay, it is a realized profit or realized gain. Yan yung nature ng adjustment na yan. Okay po. This could also be computed by comparing the ultimate selling price to outsiders, okay, which is 250 less the original cost of 175. So, in the year of sale, upon consolidation, as if walang nangyari, your land will be restored back to 175. The 50,000 gain will be eliminated. Okay, so if there is no intercompany sale on PPE that took place between the parent and the subsidiary, pareho din lang yung lalabas doon sa PPE natin. Okay, so ayun. It should also be noted that the income assigned to the non-controlling interest is 10,000 more than its share in the actual 2014 income. Why? Because that is the share from the 50,000 na adjustment. Okay, recognized in the CNI. Okay, the additional 10,000 represents the realized gain on sale assigned to non-controlling interest. Ito yung sinasabi sa number 3, okay, proportionate and proportionate adjustment. Okay po. As was earlier pointed out, when previously unrealized intercompany gain is realized, kakapagod pa sa akin yun, Basta kung ano yung na-defer, na-realize na. And the effects of the profit elimination process must be reversed. Ayan. For gains, originally, it will be deducted. Once it's realized, it will be added. For losses, it will be added, because that's how you defer a loss. It will be added back to the profits. And then once these losses are realized, that's the time you're going to deduct them. Okay, from the computation of your CNI and minority interest net income. Now, what about for depreciable assets? Same concept, no? Same concept. Number one, you eliminate the intercompany gains and losses. Okay, and then number two, okay, you do that only in the year of sale. And then number three, in the process of elimination, you're going to restore your PPE into its original cost. But this time, since these are depreciable assets, every year nagde-depreciate tayo, di ba? So, additional elimination entry will be to adjust your depreciation. Bakit ganon? Okay? Take note, no, if you sold an equipment, okay, with an original cost of, let's say, 10,000 pesos, okay, it was sold at 15,000 pesos. Let's say that the remaining life of this is, let's say, 5 years, no? So, if you divide this by 5, okay, you will have 2,000. Every year, sana na depreciation. Okay, but because it was sold for 15, and then the remaining life is 5 years, assuming ginamit din yan ng buying affiliate or buying entity, your depreciation will now be 3 years. So, again, okay, ang pinakatatandaan ninyo dito ay as if walang nangyari. Okay, so, therefore, hindi pwede itong 3,000. If this sale was not made, okay, the cost should still be 10,000 and the depreciation should still be 2,000. Aside from the cost and the depreciation expense, okay, you should also adjust, well, in the process, no, adjust your accumulated depreciation. So you have your cost, accumulated depreciation, and the depreciation expense. Okay, so let's try to read this. Unrealized intercompany gains or losses involving the depreciable assets are viewed as being realized gradually over the remaining life of the asset. Okay, gusto nyo ng shortcut. Magkano po yung gain nito? Assuming, no? Okay, so that's the book value, 10,000. It was sold for 15. So, there was a gain amounting to 5,000. And it will be realized gradually over the remaining life of the asset. So, we divide this by the remaining life of 5 years. 5,000 divided by 5. You will now have 1,000 every year. Okay, so in the year of sale, you're going to eliminate 5,000 and you're going to realize 1,000. Take note, you have to do that proportionately based on its remaining life also. Now, if the sale happened at the beginning of the year, okay, or di 1,000, pero if it happens somewhere in the middle, no, di kalahati lang ng 1,000. But, okay, eto lang, yung, nire-realize natin proportionately based on its remaining life. Diba? Yung ginagawa natin sa depreciation na pre-no-prorate natin. So, that's the term. Your gain will be eliminated 100%. Okay, whether it's sold at the beginning of the year or at the middle or at the end, 100%. I-eliminate natin yan. But in the realization, since it's based on the remaining life of the asset, okay, so kung ang remaining life niya ay 5 years, nagamit mo lang ng 6 months, and then nag-consolidate ka na, then you also have to divide this by 2 times 6 over 12. Okay, so that's how you realize the intercompany gain or losses. Okay, and the amount of depreciation recognized each period on an asset purchase from an affiliate is based on the intercompany selling price. Ayan. So, na-discuss na natin to kanina. Okay, magbabago yung depreciation expense because it will be based on the selling price or purchase price from the buying entity. Okay. From a consolidated viewpoint, depreciation must be based on the cost of the asset because you're going to restore the asset to its cost. Then, the depreciation should also be based on this cost. Eliminating entries are needed to restate the assets and the related accumulated depreciation and depreciation expense to the amounts that would appear in the consolidated financial statements as if there had been no intercompany sale. So, as if walang nangyari. And consolidated statements must appear, okay, as if the intercompany sale had never occurred. So, pag binalikan natin dito, from the buying entity, yung 10 naging 15 na, di ba? Yung depreciation na 2,000 naging 3,000 na. Okay? So, eto dapat ibalik sa 10,000. Yung nirecord niyang depreciation na 3,000 dapat maging 2,000 yan sa consolidated financial statements natin. You see the difference? How much? 1,000. What's this 1,000? This is actually your realized gain. Okay, based on its remaining life. Diba? Okay, so it will move together with your depreciation expense. If depreciation expense is based on its remaining life, then your gain on the sale should also be based on its remaining life. And normally, that is the adjustment on your depreciation expenses. Okay, so let's have an example. Ayan, parent company and subsidiary assume that on January 5, beginning of the year, assuming that January 1 to January 4 transactions are immaterial. Diba? This is as good as January 1 na lang. Okay, parent company sold an equipment with a remaining life of 10 years. Book value of 50 sold for 60 and the equipment originally cost at 60. 80 pala. So, cost is 80,000, okay, and the book value is 50,000. Tama po? This means that your accumulated depreciation is 30,000. Now, this one is sold for how much? Okay, it was sold for 60,000. Siyempre, as of this point, there's no accumulated depreciation. Okay, so the book value is 60,000. Now, if you're going to depreciate this based on its remaining life, which is 10 years, okay, your depreciation now will be 50 divided by 10. This will be 5,000. This one 60 divided by 10. This will be 6,000. A difference of 1,000. So, dito pa lang, alam na natin, okay, that this is how much we're going to realize every year, okay, as our realized gross profit from intercompany sale. Okay, and how much will be our deferred, or yung unrealized at the date of sale? That will be 50 book value versus the selling price, which is 60. So, the gain that will be eliminated will be 10,000 pesos. Sabi sa batas, we are going to realize this based on its remaining life. So, we divide this by 10 years and you will get your realized gross profit every year, which is 1,000 pesos. Siya rin po ito. Okay, now in the process, okay, titignan na lang natin kung upstream or downstream yan. Okay, so sabi niya, the parent sold. So this one is a downstream sale. No? So the entire 10,000 will be eliminated against your EHP or CNI as far as the parent is concerned. And 1,000 will be realized, okay, also on the same amount, dun sa parents' share sa consolidated net income. But if this one is an upstream sale, you have to distribute this 10,000 between the parent and the minority interest. Okay, so magiging 8,000 and then 2,000 for the subsidiary. Ito naman 800 and then 200 to the minority interest pala, not the subsidiary. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we already have the following entries. Kayo nang bahala dyan, this one, naka-receive siya ng cash. Okay, this one was squeezed. Okay, how? Given the cost of 80 with a book value of 50, then we know that the accumulated depreciation is 30. The gain on sale is 10,000, which was already computed earlier. Okay, this one is for the dividends. Okay, so pwede na nating dedmahin yan. These are the entries made in the books of the parent. Now, in the books of the subsidiary, when the equipment was acquired, okay, debit to equipment, 60,000 at the beginning of the year. And at the end of the year, okay, they're going to record a depreciation of 6,000. Saan ulit galing yan? This will be 60,000 divided by 10 years. Okay po? Now, to eliminate, alam na natin ito, no? To eliminate the book values of net assets acquired, okay? To revalue the net assets, okay, of the subsidiary to its fair market value, okay? And at the same time, okay, record the goodwill. Okay, so ayan, in the process, we are eliminating the investment in subsidiary account. Okay, for the inventories, no, yung adjustment sa inventories, okay, and 6,000 for the adjustment also on your ano na yung tawag natin dito, and allocation of excess pala, amortization on the allocation of excess. And take note, kataon lang, no? This one is to amortize the allocated difference between the book value and fair value of the identifiable assets acquired. Familiar kasi ito eh. Baka sabihin niyo na, sir, bakit sa inventory naka-charge yung 5,000 na depreciation? No, okay. This one is for the understatement of the inventory, no, at the time of acquisition. Sir, what about the PPE? Okay, akala ko ba this one will be found in the books of the subsidiary? Okay, this is not the depreciation expense, no. This is just an amortization of the difference of the book value and fair market value. This one is for dividends, alam na natin yan. This one is to set up, yan, your NCNIS and NCNAS. Okay, so saan po nanggaling yung 37,800 na yan? Okay, papakita ko po mamaya. We're still in the elimination entries. Okay, now ito tututukan natin. In the year of sale, we're going to eliminate the gain on sale of equipment, okay, and credit property and equipment. Okay, by doing this, you eliminate the gain, and by doing this entry, you are now going to restore your PPE into its original book value, which is 50,000. I'm not a big fan of this approach, no? Papakita ko sa inyo yung mamaya. Yan, mas gusto ko pa yung ganitong approach. Debit ka ng PPE na 20. So, bakit debit ng 20? Kanina nag-credit tayo ng 10,000 dito. Ganito kasi yan. This one is just to restore the book values. This one will also restore your book values, okay? But not just the book value. You're going to restore the equipment to its original cost. Okay, why? The original cost is 80,000. Nung binili siya ng 60,000, kay the cost went down by 20,000. So by adding 20,000 okay, to your 60,000, idagdag natin yung 20,000, it will go back to its original cost, which is 80,000 pesos. Also, the accumulated depreciation, take note, was eliminated, not necessarily eliminated, but closed, no, at the time of sale. If you remember the journal entry at the time of sale, debit accumulated depreciation of 30. This time, we're going to bring it back, credit accumulated depreciation of 30. Now, if you have your PPE now at 80,000, consolidated na to and accumulated depreciation at 30, 80 minus 30, the book value is now 50,000. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, as if walang nangyari. Kung meron mang isang bagay na gusto kong tandaan ninyo for this chapter, as if walang nangyari, yun yung pinaka-guide mo. Okay, your elimination entries will be guided by that concept. Okay, so balik natin, as if walang nangyari, 80,000 na siya, 30,000 na siya, wala na rin po yung gain natin. And then, we are going to realize that, no? Realize your gain proportionately based on its remaining life. How? By doing this entry. Sir, medyo nakakalito. Akala ko ba realize bakit accumulated depreciation? Okay, let me explain. Okay, if you remember, when this 80,000, okay, with a book value of 50 was sold for 60, okay, and depreciated based on 10 years, the depreciation expense will be 6,000. Okay, it will become 6,000. Originally, it should be 5,000. Tama po. Okay, therefore, your accumulated depreciation is now overstated by 1,000. And as if walang nangyari, okay, as if it was depreciated at 5,000, we're going to reduce the accumulated depreciation in your consolidated FS amounting to 5,000 pesos. 1,000 pesos. And your depreciation expense is overstated also by 1,000. Okay, so we have to reduce that by 1,000. Also, sir, nasan yung realized gross profit dito? Take note, in the process, you are increasing the income by 1,000. Paano? By reducing the expense, no? Your depreciation expense by 1,000, your consolidated net income will increase by 1,000. Okay po? Okay, which is computed by 10,000. The gain on the sale divided by 10 years. Now, you only do this at the year of sale. And this one will be done every year. Okay, hanggat hindi nabebenta yung equipment to outsiders. So, as long as the equipment is being held by the acquiring entity, you're going to adjust the depreciation expense, and in the process, you're going to realize your intercompany sale from PPE. Ulitin ko. This one, okay, your first elimination entry to restore at book values and to eliminate the gain is only done once at 100%. Okay? I mean buo. Ayan. Whether the sale happened at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the year. Okay? Everything will be eliminated. Okay, but this one will be done every year, okay? To its remaining life of the asset, or okay, until the asset will be sold to outside parties. And this one will be done proportionately at the year of sale. Syempre, sa year of sale lang yung proportionate. On the following years, 100% na kasi 1 year mo naman na siyang nagamit. Sir, nalilito ako sa proportionate na yan. Kailan ba i-proportion? Ayan, or i-proporate. Okay, ganito yan. Okay, basta balik tayo sa concept ng depreciation. Kung na-depreciate siya ng less than a year, i-prorate mo siya. Posibleng 2 beses kang mag-prorate. Okay, patay. Ganito yan. Pre-norate mo siya, no? Yung gain on sale, no? Kasi the sale was made in July 1, so 500 lang. Dapat yung i-realize natin. So, first proration. And then, upstream sale pala to. Dahil upstream sale siya, yung 500 na yan, paghahatian din yan ng CNI ng parent at saka minority interest net income. 400 against the parent, 100 against the subsidiary or minority interest. That is only if it's upstream. Okay, so dito, 100% palagi yan. Okay, at the year of sale. Okay, whether it's upstream or downstream. Okay, i-eliminate natin yan. Pero, syempre, pag upstream, i-proporate mo ito sa computation. Meron tayong example dyan. Okay, so this is the computation of your minority interest in the net assets. Mag-T accounts ka lang dyan. Okay, mas gusto ko ito ang i-discuss natin. Okay, no need to discuss this versus your dividends. Okay, adjustment lang yan. Ito yung reported net income ng minority, ng subsidiary. So, we simply prorate that. This one is for the amortization. Okay, naintindihan na natin yan. Dito tayo mag-focus. Since this is a downstream sale, okay, this 10,000 is charged against this column. equity holdings of the parent or CNI as far as the parent is concerned. Okay, ganun din po sa realization niya. In the computation of this amount, you only do this, okay, in the year of sale. So, medyo magiging hindi naman mahirap pero nakakalito. Now, assuming you'll be given a problem wherein the sale made in, let's say, 2011, and then it will be asking for the consolidated net income as far as the parent is concerned for 2012. Okay, baka i-eliminate mo pa yung intercompany gain that happened in 2011. Hindi na. Wala na yan sa 2012. Ay, consider mo na lang sa 2012 ay yung 1,000. Okay po? So, those are the common errors that I see normally. Okay, and this is where the 37,800 came from. And so, you use that to compute for your net assets. Minority interest in the net assets. Okay, so, siya po ito. Okay, now, let's continue. Okay, we are consolidated profits. Okay, so alam na natin kung saan nanggaling yan. Equity holders of parent's net income or CNI as far as the parent is concerned. Okay, so siya yun. And the dividends, parent's dividends, declared dividends. Okay, T accounts lang yan ng consolidated retained earnings. And ayan, same computation, lahat-lahat. Okay, from the beginning. Ang nabago lang talaga ay yung pagdi-defer, okay, ng intercompany gain at saka yung pag-re-realize. Okay, for upstream sale, ayan, sa inyo, let us assume this time that it is the subsidiary company who sells the equipment to the parent. All the data remains the same. Before we continue, let's go back. This is downstream, 10,000 and 1,000. Okay, so these are the entries. Feel free to pause. Okay, so ito yung mga entries no in the books of the parent. This time siya yung magre-record ng depreciation. Okay, ito yung acquisition. These are the entries found in the books of the subsidiary. Okay, these are your elimination entries. Gain on sale, again tatanggalin natin lahat yan. And then, okay, so hayaan mo na yan. Dito tayo to restore, okay, the asset into its original book value and to record the realization of gain, which is in the process, okay, adjusting your accumulated depreciation and depreciation expense. Pareho, di ba? Saan po nagbago? Okay. O, yan, pause mo. Screenshot. Dito. Nawala na. Okay, so napahiya ako. Saan po siya nagbago? Okay, dito lang. Dito na lang. Balik tayo dito. Saan po siya nagbago? Dito. Instead na 10,000 yan, magiging 8,000 na lang. And then dito, meron po tayong deduction yan ha. Meron po tayong 2,000 as a deduction. And once it's realized, okay, times 80%, you now have 800 and here you have 200. Okay po. So, if you try to compute, okay, mag-iiba na po yan. So, you have, pareho lang, no? 37,800 minus 2,000, that will be 35,200 plus 200, that will be 36,000. Okay, let's see if that is correct. You have 36,000. Okay, so can you please check? Ayan naman. Can you please check if, okay, the amounts that you will get here, okay, and here, okay, once these adjustments are made, will be consistent with the following elimination entries and computation. 36 na compute na natin yan. Same with your consolidated accumulated profits. Dapat ang makompute doon ay 644. Okay, and your total accumulated profits will be ayan, 2,630,000. So, if there is, one thing that you have to remember, ulit-ulitin ko lang, as if walang nangyari. Okay? In this chapter, in the process, you should eliminate your intercompany gains, restore your PPE into its original cost, okay? Not just the cost, no, but also the respective accumulated depreciation. Your depreciation expense should also be adjusted, and the adjustment will be equal to the realized gross profit. Okay, so to summarize, last chapter na natin ito actually sa business combination. Okay, to summarize, okay, ano yung affected? Okay, what is affected by this chapter? Okay, you have the computation of your CNI as far as the parent is concerned, which is known as the equity holder of the parent or equity share of the parent in the consolidated net income. You also have the minority interest net income in your consolidated net income. Reviewin natin, okay? Kino-compute lang po ang mga to after the date of acquisition. Okay, so we started with the subsequent to date of acquisition. Without intercompany transactions, these are computed by adding the parent's net income to your CNI. Okay, ito, pareho lang siya doon. Now, from its own operation. Own operation. Ayan. Diretso ka na sa own operation. This means, okay, you have the parent's reported net income minus the parent's share in the subsidiaries dividends. Ayan. Okay, yun yung ibig sabihin ng parent's net income from its own operation. So, if you use the parent's net income or reported net income, you still have to deduct the share of the parent in the subsidiaries dividends. Okay po? And then you have here the subsidiaries net income. Ayan. Kasama po siya dito. Okay po. So, this one will be prorated. Siyempre, pag loss, okay, negative yan. Ganun din, if the parent reported a loss, you have to reduce that. Okay, so, ayun. If there are amortization, okay, amortization of excess, okay, yung allocation, no? Ayan, it will be deducted here. Okay po. And this one is your subsequent to date of acquisition. Yan, without intercompany transactions. Kung merong intercompany transactions on inventories, yan. First, you have to classify whether this is a downstream sale or upstream sale. Because if this is a downstream sale, ayan, nagre-review na tayo. If this is a downstream sale, okay, your deferred gross profit and realized gross profit, magdi-defer ka dyan, magre-realize ka dyan. Dyan lang, wala pong share itong mga to. Okay, so, dito po papasok yan. Ayan. Pero, kapag upstream sale, ang deferred gross profit at realized gross profit, pag dinifer mo, yan, dahil upstream siya, may share din si minority interest. Okay po? Yan po yung 100%. Ayan. Ganun din sa realized gross profit. Oops. Bakit ko ba ito nilagyan ng ganun? Ayan. Okay po, tayo sa inventories. Ayan. Pagdating naman doon sa PPE, okay, property, plant, and equipment, kapag downstream, Pareho lang. Pag deferred gross profit at realized gross profit, okay? Realized, unrealized. Yan lang naman yun, di ba? Pag downstream, lahat yan pupunta doon and lahat yan pupunta doon. Pero kapag upstream, ang deferred gross profit at realized gross profit ay maididistribute. Okay. O yan, 3 chapter yan. Okay, well, let's not forget this. 100%. Oops, pahiya na naman ako. Saan kaya kayo malilito dito? Sanayan lang. Nakakalito ito kapag nagsabay-sabay. No? Kanyari, may downstream ka na, also on the same year, may upstream ka pa, and then ang tinanong ay year 2. Take note, kay for inventories, every year mong ginagawa ito, what was deferred last year will be realized this year. Okay? So, imagine, no? Let's say, a problem which includes upstream and downstream at the same time, year 1, year 2, year 3. Okay? And then for PPE, may kasama pa siyang PPE na downstream and upstream. Mas madali sa PPE because this is only done, this one, no? Yung pagdi-defer natin, okay, is only done during the year of sale. Lagay natin. Okay, so, year of sale only. Ayan, yung pagdi-defer natin, yung mga yan. Okay, but this one, pag re-realize, every year po yan. Okay po. Now, also, take note, okay, what if this is a non-depreciable asset? Okay, hindi ka kailangang mag-realize unless it's sold to outsiders. That's the only time you realize at 100%. Okay? So, ganun din sa depreciable assets. Once these assets are sold to outsiders, that's the time you realize the remaining unrealized. Okay? So, siguro yun kailangan nating i-discuss further. Okay, anong ibig sabihin ni Sir dito? Kunyari, sa year 1, meron tayong ayan, dinifer na 10,000. This one is for year 1. Okay, tapos meron kang ni-realize na 1,000 nung year 1. Nung year 2, magdi-defer ka pa ba? Hindi na, magre-realize ka lang ng 1,000. Year 3, magdi-defer ka pa ba? Hindi na, magre-realize ka lang ulit ng 1,000. On year 4, at the beginning of the year, hindi mo pa nagamit, so hindi mo pa siya i-realize, no? Okay, at the beginning of the year, this equipment was sold. Since it was sold to outside parties, you are going to realize the remaining unrealized amount, which is 7,000 pesos. Okay po. So, saan nanggaling yung 7,000 pesos? We have a total unrealized gain of 10,000 and you were able to realize 3,000 in the previous years. Now, take note, this is if it was sold at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of year 4. But what if it was sold at the end of year 4? You can do the same. Okay, it will result to the same amount, no? Pero mas maganda, no? Mas maganda if you should realize 1,000 muna, okay, for the current year kasi ginamit mo siya eh. And that is to adjust your depreciation expense and accumulated depreciation. So you realize this 1,000 and then, okay, you eliminate, no? You not eliminate. You realize the remaining unrealized profit, which is now 6,000 at the end of the year. Okay po. So, yan. I-total mo to. Total mo to. I-total mo. Total mo to. Ito and ito. This is now your consolidated net income, minority interest net income, and your consolidated net income as far as the parent is concerned. If you are using the equity method, no, and tinanong ka, how much is the equity in the subsidiary net income? Eto siya. From that point to that point, Okay? That's your equity on subsidiary net income. Okay? So, bakit ko sinabi yun? Sometimes, may tatanungin sa'yo, how much is the balance of the equity on subsidiary net income? Okay, siya pa ito. Or, using the equity method, how much is the ending balance of the investment? Okay, ang dali lang yan sa cost method because in your investment, under cost method, okay, is only composed of the cost at the acquisition date. Okay, unless may adjustment po tayo for liquidating dividends. That is when the cumulative share of the parent in the subsidiaries dividends is more than the cumulative share of the parent in the subsidiaries reported net income. Okay? So, ganun lang naman yung cost method. Pero pag equity method, you have your ESNI, you have your ESNI, equity on subsidiary net income, and then you have here the dividends, okay, coming from the subsidiary. The dividends received by the parent coming from the subsidiary. Okay po. Now, balikan nga natin kung kabisado na ninyo yan, malaking bagay yan, no? Because if you're going to compute, no, aside from your investment, no, you are going to compute for your consolidated retained earnings. You have here your beginning retained earnings of the parent, assuming you're using the equity method. Okay, you simply add the mali. Ang beginning nasa kabila. Nawala na naman lahat. Okay. Anyway, if we are computing for the consolidated retained earnings, okay, nandito yung beginning balance. Okay, you add the consolidated net income as far as the parent is concerned. Okay, and you have the dividends declared by the parent. You will get the ending balance of your consolidated retained earnings. Sir, bakit ito yung ginamit mo? Okay, ganito kasi yan. Okay, whether you're using cost method or equity method, okay, your consolidated retained earnings is the same. Okay, so para hindi ka na nag-a-adjust, gamitin mo yung beginning balance ng parent using the equity method. Okay, so ayun. If you are computing for the minority interest, okay, or NCNAS, okay, non-controlling interest in the net assets of the subsidiary, ganun din, you have the beginning balance, okay, add your minority interest net income for the year. There you go. Okay, deduct the share of the minority interest, no, in the dividends declared by the subsidiary, and you will get the ending balance, and the ending balance of your minority interest. Okay, if you are asked to compute for under equity method, okay, paminsan tinatanong, how much the equity in the subsidiary net income? Ayan, or the parent's equity in the subsidiary net income. Okay, so paano po yan? This will be composed of the parent share in the subsidiaries net income. Okay, aside from that, you have here your amortization of excess. Ganun lang naman. But if there are intercompany transactions, you will find here your deferred gross profit or unrealized profits, and you will have your realized gross profits, whether it's coming from inventory or property, plant, and equipment transactions. Okay po. So, ayun. What else? Okay. Consistent tayo dito. Sa investment, if you're using the cost method, okay, you have the cost method, just the cost, and that's it. But if you're using the equity method, okay, you will have the cost adjusted by your ESNI, okay, less the dividends, okay, share of the parent, no, from the dividends declared by the subsidiary. Okay, my question sa akin the other day, sir, I was reviewing, and how come how come in the computation of minority interest, okay, there is no adjustment. There is no adjustment on their share in the dividends, okay? Not like in the parent. Saan sila nalito? Dito. I'll show you. Okay. Ayun. Sir, eto, bakit meron ditong parent share in subsidiaries dividends na 40,000 samantalang wala yung 10,000 dito? Hindi ba dapat i-deduct din natin? That's correct kung titignan natin yung pattern, pero intindihin natin mabuti. When the subsidiary declared dividends, no, dividend income, may entry made by the parent which is debit to cash and credit dividend income. And that the dividend income of 40,000 was included in the parent's net income. Okay? Si subsidiary ba, magre-record siya ng debit to cash and credit to dividend income na 10,000? Hindi. Hindi niya i-record yun. Okay po. Wala po yun sa subsidiaries net income. Walang 10,000 dyan. That's why we're not going to remove that 10,000. But this 40,000 is included here. Kaya nakakalito yung ganitong approach. That's why, okay, to simplify and to avoid errors, okay, just use the parent's income from its own operation and the subsidiary's net income, which is kung ano naman yung ni-report niya dito, automatically yan. No? That it's the net income from its own operation. Ayun, oh, di ba? So, mas consistent ngayon tayo sa approach. Okay? So, does it mean that the dividends na 10,000 of the minority interest was not considered here? The answer is yes, it's not considered in the computation of the net income in the minority interest, but it's considered in the computation of your minority interest. This one has something to do with the net assets. Iba po yung net assets sa net income. For net income, that's the revenue minus your expenses. Net assets, that's the asset less your liabilities. Kumbaga, this is already the capital. So imagine, oh, isang mahabang computation lang. Yan lang yung pag-aaralan mong mabuti. Intindihin mo yung concept nito. And then, yung basic na T accounts mo. Tapos na po tayo sa business combination. Okay po. So, ganun lang po siya kadali. And then, you try to apply this in the problems, no, that you are solving. Okay po. So, I guess that's it. Okay. And, thank you. How do I stop this? Ayun.